What is up, guys? Eric here from Real Film Reviews, bringing you another movie review, this time for the new Jake Gyllenhaal film, Demolition. Demolition is directed by Jean-Marc of Wild and Dallas Buyers Club fame, and stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Chris Cooper, and Naomi Watts. It is the story of a financial banker who, after losing his wife tragically in a car accident, decides that he needs to reevaluate his life in its entirety. Now, to start off with, as it's not surprising at all, the performances in this film are great. Jake Gyllenhaal gives a phenomenal performance as a man who genuinely seems like he is completely lost as to who he is at this point in his life. Supporting cast-wise, I think that Chris Cooper honestly gives a great supporting performance in this film. I think he is a great moral compass for this film as a character who is seeing the actions of Jake Gyllenhaal as a normal person probably would, and thinking that he's kind of losing his mind rather than him sort of working through the loss of his wife. I also think that Naomi Watts does a pretty good job. There's also a child actor in the film who plays a role that I don't really want to spoil because it's sort of part of the film, but the kid actor actually does a pretty good job as well. Now, Valet has directed a couple really well-known films in the past couple years, those being Wild and Dallas Buyers Club, both being Oscar-nominated films, Dallas Buyers Club winning a couple Oscars for performances in it. And I think that he does a good job with this movie. I think the editing that he uses throughout this film is very interesting, and I think that in terms of the shots that he chooses to make a lot of the shots very simple, but at the same time they speak a lot to what this character is going through. And I think that that's the biggest aspect of this film, is this movie is a very deep film. This is a film that when it ended and I was in the theater, I was like, okay, that movie was alright, I guess. It wasn't great. But then when I went home, I couldn't stop thinking about different things that the movie explored. And as I thought about it more and more, I realized this movie is actually very good. You just have to think about it more than an average film. It's not a movie that ends with immediate payoff. It's a film you watch, and then after a couple hours of thinking about it, you realize, wow, that movie's actually very deep and intellectual and really shows you a lot of different things about what it is to be human. I think it is a very interesting story of the idea of him losing his wife and then the idea of him breaking everything down in his life to try to figure out what he truly was missing in this world. And I think that it works. However, the script in this film is simultaneously the best aspect of this movie besides the performances, and also the worst, because the script is very good for the very beginning of the film. For the first probably half hour of this movie, I feel like it does a very good job. It builds an extremely interesting story. But then after about halfway through the film, it starts to lose steam, and it loses steam rather quickly in my opinion. It starts adding in a lot more side stories and different aspects of the events that have transpired in the film, and I think it starts to cause more confusion and adding too much to this story that should have been a little simpler, if you ask me. However, at the same time, I think the script does do a very good job of building these characters and building the environment that they are in to show their actions in a meaningful way. I'm gonna give Demolition a B. Overall, Demolition is a good film. It is not great. It has its issues, though I think the story and the way that it portrays these characters is very good. It is a slow burn of a film where when you see it, you won't be leaving the theater probably saying how amazing you thought the movie was. But after you get home and the movie just sticks in your mind and you keep thinking about it, you sort of realize how much of an impact the movie actually had on you, even though when it ended you didn't think it did. Well guys, as always, I'm Eric. If you enjoyed this review, please do like, subscribe, comment down below what you thought of Demolition, share everything we do here on Real Film Reviews, and I hope to see you guys later.